you're not Josh. What you're not understanding is the guy has done it for a year now. Like, would you say
he's
he's?
been doing
Would
it
you
for
say
years?
no? But he's not been
I wouldn't.
performing
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
level that
I wouldn't
Bruno's
say
performing
for.
at right now.
Yeah, and
He's not.
that's what I was
He's
gonna say.
performing at
Do you
the level
think?
Bruno's performing
Look,
right now.
this is there's bad questions to ask, but is the best version of KDB the best better than the best version of Bruno?
Are you man crazy?
I'm not. I'm asking the questions. Don't grill me.
Yo, I'm tryna get my sterling up in the city, so s'il play. As soon as my child can walk, it's straight Project Mbappe. But all the verbal, as soon as I hear that whistle, we get straight to the action. Come on lads, where's the passion? Do like Alamatsi, we wear headbands for the fashion. If the defenders drop back, we counter and then attack them. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball, yeah. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball, yeah. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball.
Yes, people, we're back for another episode of Eyes on the Ball, your favorite channel. We're growing the channel. Appreciate the recent 100 subscribers. We're going to keep it growing. We're going to keep doing our thing, keep providing the content that we believe you want to see. I mean, I don't think there's another channel that has the discussions like we do, and we're going to keep bringing that content your way. But we've got to dive straight into today's episode. Like, I already know... I've been expecting.
Wait. Before we dive in, fam, just hope everyone had a good Christmas.
It's true.
Hope everyone enjoyed their family time.
I'm even bugging out, fam. I've forgotten to ask.
Fam. Where's your etiquette? What's your etiquette?
My mind's all over the place, bro. My mind's all over the place.
Yeah, Chelsea got you scrambled, bro. They got you scrambled. But we hope everyone had a good Christmas, man, and obviously you, man, as well, man.
Definitely.
You sure, man?
Had the good grab still. Good grab. Needed it. But look, for me, just a cheeky monologue before you man go through in it. You man can go through and then I'll give my take in it. Like, because Chelsea right now aren't worth an ounce of my time. But what it is, is that 5:30, 5:30 kickoff. That's when everyone's watching you. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you say, man, them, I've got a tournament, you man roll through. That kind of thing. Or man them, I'm playing Warzone with the man them. Well, everyone wants to watch, so I'll share play you. And then you share play, you let the man them watch you, how you do your thing, you get me? And when you're you know what I'm talking about, Josh, when we come to watch your games.
I know, bro.
The pressure's there. Darren, fam, you know what I'm talking about as well, fam. I mean, we've all kicked ball, fam, we know. 5:30 kickoff, Sky Sports TV, live and direct. You cannot fumble. Because everyone's watching. Big game. Like
prime time.
Arsenal, yes, they've had a bad season, but they're still a club that has a huge fan base. So everyone's watching that game. And Chelsea go and embarrass themselves. I mean, we're supposed to be title contenders. We're supposed to be closing the gap. We're supposed to be this new team, investment, football supposed to be flowing. What do you think the problem is at Chelsea? Like, why do you think it went so wrong or went so left in that game and just as a whole?
I'll start with Lamps, man. For me, Lamps has just got a lot of things wrong, man. The whole playing players out of position. For me, it makes no sense. The first thing I'll start with, I said going into the season that Pulisic would be your best player. Obviously, injuries have played a role. Him and Ziyech obviously ain't been fit, but the whole moving, playing Pulisic on the right and banging Werner on there, basically just, it's like a domino effect. The fact that you're trying to get Abraham in, moves Werner out to the wing, then moves Pulisic out of position. It just makes no sense. Me and you, we've had words about the Hudson-Odoi situation. He's played well in his cameos. Still don't get a look. I think it's crazy that he's shoehorning Werner out on the wing when you got guys like that who's meant to be one of the brightest young talents in England, and you're not giving him a chance. Not banging Werner up top. There's just so many moves or decisions that he's made where it's like, what are you thinking? Like, genuinely, what are you thinking? But, yeah, man, he's showing that he's a rookie still. He's showing that he's a rookie.
Yo, Josh.
Yeah, man. PE teacher Lamps has come back and made an appearance, man.
Trust me.
Do you know what I'm saying? For man's managing Chelsea, like say, is a school football team, bro. You know, back then you could slap your best players anywhere on the pitch and they'll give a performance, but this ain't the Kent Cup. You know what I mean? It's the Premier League, man. And yeah, bro. Like Darren said, bro, you can't play your best striker out wide, man. Even though he has got the versatility to play out there and he has created chances for himself and he has scored goals from out there.
I don't even care. He hasn't got the versatility.
No,
I don't want him there. Look, do you know what the problem
fair
is?
enough, but
Shall I tell you something? And this is one point that I've actually, my eyes have been open to. You know, playing players out of position isn't the problem. It's the system that you decide when playing these players out of position. We've seen
100%.
Klopp play players out of the position all the time. Yeah. It happens. Why not plays DM sometimes? They rotate their DM position. Henderson can play the DM role. Fabinho, obviously, that's his role. There's man that Curtis Jones slots into that lineup seamlessly, fam. You can dash in Origi. Origi can go on the wing, do a job for you. Fam, Origi's the reason why they have a Champions League. Like, it's not about playing players out of position personally. It's about the system you deploy. In the system that Lampard is deploying, Werner is being asked to be a winger, and that is where the problem lies. Crosses in the box, driving at the fullback, and the biggest thing of them all, Arsenal's outlet was their fullbacks. Our wingers don't track back. When you have two wingers that don't track back, you already have a problem. Look, do you know what? Yeah, there's so many things to dissect here.
That's what I'm saying.
Like. You can't.
You know what I will say? I will say.
Even get in.
Another point I'll make is, for me, Tammy Abraham is your third choice striker.
100%.
So I don't understand why he's still starting. Like
people want to talk about Bruno stat padding. Like, I love Tammy, but Tammy is a stat padder because he can score, but he does not have a good performance at all. Do you get what I'm saying? Man, them were telling me that he played well against West Ham when he scored 2 goals. He did play well.
To be fair, I do understand that Tammy shouldn't be your first choice striker in any game unless the two ahead of him are injured. But I'll say this to my little brother, man. Like, my little brother was even getting at Tammy yesterday as well. Like, just watching him. I was saying something like, bruv, like, when things are going wrong for a team, bro, you can't just look at one man and pin it on him, innit? Fair enough, yeah. He didn't have a great performance, but I can't name 2 Chelsea players that had a good performance, really and truly, man. So I'm not going to pin it on him. And at the end of the day, he scored, bro. Do you know what I mean? He scored, and that's his job, innit, at the end of the day, man. But I think in games like this, man, you have to look at the manager, man. Like he said about the playing the strike on a wing thing, bro. I have Chelsea friends that at some point we need to get on this pod because we need to have a serious conversation with them, bro. But they're of the mind state that Thierry Henry isn't the striker that we all thought he was. That we all thought he was, simply because Pep had the audacity to put him on the wing at Barca. I was like, bro, listen, yeah, you got to play with the system, bro. Fair enough, yeah, you have a world-class striker that's playing on the wing, but he's still scoring goals. At the end of the day, he's won the Champions League playing on the wing, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And like you said, man, it's system, man. If you're going to put a striker out there, you have to play to that striker's strengths. Do you know what I'm saying? And like you said, bro, you can't have one up on the wing playing like a winger when he's not a winger. Do you know what I mean? He can't pass to save his life, bro. And that's the dead truth, man. But yeah, bro, I think I don't know why he's gone with that option, man. Really and truly, man. And we've had this discussion about the position of the number 10 being dead or whatever, and I do hear that. But you have to find a way to accommodate the players that you've got in, man. You have to find a way to accommodate Mount and Havertz and Pulisic and Ziyech. And I don't know how you're going to do that, but at the end of the day, that's the job of a manager, man. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't have games where you have your main players playing well, and then other games where they're just non-existent in the game, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And this is just a game where you see Frank's inexperience as a manager, naivety. Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%.
And that's the problem amongst the Chelsea fan base. It's not necessarily the fact that we lost to Arsenal. That Arsenal team, in my opinion, one of the worst lineups I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like, it's not even just the fact that we lost to them, but I think what it is more to do is it's the manner of the defeat. And then if you look at why we lost, it's some of the errors we've seen him make already. So it means that you're not learning. What I was saying in my video, and basically the main point of my video was progress. Can we say we have really made progress from this point last season. It's the same thing with Arteta. Say, like, I'm going to hold every manager accountable to the standards that they set. In my opinion, Lampard still doesn't get the credit that he deserves for finishing in the top 4 last year. Because when I said we would finish in the top 4 last year at the beginning of the season, when we first started this pod, and I told Darren, bro, Donny laughed at me. I'll play the episode, like, because we didn't have a squad that was really good enough, or a typical top 4 squad. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. And really and truly, expectations changed during the season because of how well we were playing. Man, then we're now saying we should have finished 3rd comfortably. Do you get what I'm saying? That sort of thing. So that's why I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. However, you come into the season with backing, with investment, with the players that you've been seeking, like crying out for, obviously after the ban, and now it's your responsibility to get these players fit, firing, and playing in their best position. Do you get what I'm saying? How many times do I need to say, when you're a new manager, the easiest way to get yourself out of a rut, and why we started going on a run in the first place anyway, regardless of the opponents that we were facing, is because 1 to 11 in each position, you identified who the best player was in each position, and you played them there. That's as simple as it goes. If he spent the same amount of time he did searching for Mount's best position, doing it with the other guys, we would have a solid team that would be title challengers. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not rocket science.
No,
and that's the problem. It's things that just don't make sense. I mean, I don't mind crossing your tactic being putting crosses into the box, but then put the right personnel. Yeah, Giroud not playing in that game is criminal. Like, it's absolutely
it's crazy still.
Like, if you're gonna, like, Hudson-Odoi and Giroud needed to come on, not Hudson-Odoi and Jorginho. Like, do you get what I'm saying? It's just, and then just my final point before you man can go through the politics surrounding the club in terms of him and what he says. We've never had a manager. This is the first time since probably Mourinho we've had a manager where whatever he says in the post-match, in the pre-game interviews and the post-match interviews, we take it and run. Like, when Lampard speaks, Lampard has spoken, kind of thing, and we're like, yeah, cool. Lampard said this, so we're gonna have to go with this. Lampard has come out and said time and time again he plays players based on merit. That's BS, and I take that as disrespect. Like, he's telling me basically that I don't know ball. That's big man thing. That's how I'm taking it, and the reason why I'm taking it like that is because Hudson-Odoi, every single game he's had substantial minutes. I'll recall each game he's had substantial minutes. Brighton, he didn't play. He played like 10 minutes in that game. He came on West Brom to change that game. The game we drew 3-3 in the second half. Crystal Palace, he started that game, and he only started that game because Bayern Munich were in for him in January. I mean, in the summer, sorry. And he wanted to just keep him.
That's like his only start, Allah.
His only start in the league, yeah. His only start in the league. And then this game, where he comes on and he changes this game in terms of how we were performing. And that's a joke. That's a joke thing. It's a joke thing. And it's the same thing that goes for Tomori. A recent report from The Athletic, they said that they still see a future for him at the club, and a huge but, his training levels have dropped down. They believe he makes too many mistakes. He's not as dominant in the air, and mistakes that lead to errors. That's BS, because Tomori has played one bad game for Chelsea in his career, and that was against Bournemouth. And he's being scapegoated, and it doesn't make sense. Then Giroud, the final player, Giroud. We will play bad. Bring in Giroud. He will go on a run, and for some reason, he's out of the team. That's not merit to me. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's the constant cycle. Why was Giroud dropped? Tell me what. Giroud scored against Wolves. Granted, Tammy scored 2 goals against West Ham, but Giroud, everyone thought Giroud was just being rested against West Ham to come back for the Arsenal game. It doesn't. Why was he dropped? It doesn't. He doesn't. Why was he scored? He's been scored.
Daniel, this is the problem. This is one of the problems that come with having a manager who was once a great player and a legend, bro. Because when you talk about him selecting players based on merit, oftentimes it's not based on what they do when they come on against a team and they have a spark. It's based on the day-by-day regime, what they do in training, the attitude off the pitch. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff, man. And
there's some players who are just bad trainers. Hold on.
Players
who are bad trainers.
Bro, 100%.
But managers don't always give them man Balaos, though.
This is what I'm saying, though, bro, because with Frank, yeah, we know that as a player, he had a great attitude, bro, and he was one of the hardest workers off the pitch as well, man. He put the hours in, man. So when you have a manager that comes in like that, he wants his players to replicate the same amount of dedication, commitment that he done. Yeah, and when they're not doing that, that's what he's rewarding them based on. But you look at Tammy Abraham, and you can tell that when he's training, he probably has one.
No, I get the point he was trying to say. When he's training, he probably works hard. He's probably putting himself about.
Yeah.
Like,
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah, can hear you now, bro.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So where I left off with Tammy Abraham, you look at him, and you can tell that he's probably one of the hardest working players in training, bro. But on the other hand, you could look at a Hudson-Odoi, he's blessed with talent, and a Tomori, he's blessed with talent. You can see that, okay, cool. Maybe there's some days that they're not training at the utmost best because talent-wise, Tammy Abraham is not touching Callum Hudson-Odoi, bro. But you can see that in terms of attitude and commitment, there may be a difference there. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what Frank is based on. But my thing is, as a manager, you have to look at it like, bro, who can I rely on a game-by-game basis? Because, like you said, not all... Bro, you had a player last 2 seasons ago, bro. He's probably one of the worst trainers ever in Hazard. Yeah. In Hazard. So how would have Frank dealt with Hazard then? Because he's a pole trader, bro. But you put him on a pitch, bro, and he's the best player week in, week out. So as a manager, how do you deal with those kind of players? And I think with Frank, he has to separate what he was as a player and his expectations and demands as a player from what is going to bring out the best out of his whole team, bro. Because I think that's going to change a lot for him, man. There's some, like, bro, like, for example, with the Mourinho situation at Tottenham with Dele Alli, bro. Fair enough, Dele Alli is a poor trainer, but then you can see that that's also replicating in games as well. Hence why Dele Alli's been dropped. But if you have a player that is poor training but on the pitch does his thing, you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to pick a poison. You have to pick a poison, bro. That's true for the matter, man.
Is though, if Hudson-Odoi was to even play bad against Villa, who we've got next, then he wouldn't be in the team. He wouldn't be in the team for the next 2 months. When other guys can have bad games consistently, week in, week out, and still play. If you're not going to allow the guy to have a chance, look, I'm not even mincing words here, innit? But Bayern Munich were on their knees or are on their knees for this guy. Bayern Munich are not on their knees for any player. When do you see Bayern Munich splash out 80 mil on a player or want to splash out 80 mil on a player? I'm sure Robben Ribéry weren't even a crumb of 80 mil. Sane, they didn't get for 80 mil, anywhere near that. Gnabry, Kingsley Coman, all the wingers that they're producing that are playing well for them week in, week out and becoming top wingers in the world, they weren't bought for this kind of peas. That shows you they see something in this brother. They see something in this brother, and we also see something in this brother. So what are we seeing that Lamps ain't seeing?
Do you know what it is?
Us, man.
No, but this is where I'll give Frank some sort of credit in it, because I can tell looking at Frank that he sees the bigger picture. Fair enough, yeah. Right now, some of these players aren't producing. No, let me land. Fair enough. Right now, some of these players aren't producing what you would expect them to produce, yeah. But I'm saying now, yeah, like hard-working players, yeah, like they grow, bro. And once they grow and become the player that they're supposed to be, I'm telling you, they're going to be a rock-solid foundation for their team, man. Players like Mason Mount, players like Tammy Abraham. Bro, in the present time, you're going to be frustrated, bro. I'm telling you now. I see his vision.
How can Tammy Abraham lead?
That's what I was going to ask.
Can he win you the league? Be honest. Exactly. Don't tell me about big picture. What can he do or add to his game that you can see that is possible that will make him become the striker?
Listen. Daniel. Didier Drogba wasn't the goal scorer merchant that Henry was. Yeah. And wait, let me land.
Because I already know where this comparison is going.
Tammy Abraham isn't going to be half the player that Didier Drogba was here, but you can win the league with a striker that's scoring about 11, 12 goals a season. It's been proven, fam.
Let's stop doing this. And this is my problem. And Darren, you're going to go.
As long as he's a good performer.
Hold on. There's 3 problems there's 2 problems to this, but it's like 3, and I'm going to explain it. The first problem to this, I hate when people try to do this thing of, you don't need to win the league with a striker who can bang you 20 goals. Of course you don't. But you need to factor in the rest of the team and what the rest of the team are doing.
You've got goals around the pitch, Daniel, man. Let's be honest.
Who's on 10 goals right now in our team?
Fair enough, but with the crop of players you've got players that can get you a
Who's
goal.
on 10 goals? Stop telling me what they can do. I'm telling you what the squad is right now. I'm telling you what they are right now. We're one of the best scorers in the league, and fair enough, we're getting goals across the pitch, and I've given them credit for that. However, we're not getting enough goals, and that's another problem, because when we're conceding now, when we're looking bad now on the defensive end, we're not even scoring enough goals. Bro, stop saying this Drogba thing. Or when people say this Drogba thing, bro, we had Lampard in the team. We had guys like Ballack. We had guys Joe Cole. We had guys all around the pitch that were contributing to goals. And the big thing about Drogba that people don't understand is his presence alone was taking man away from all these other guys. That's what allowed space for all these other guys.
Not only his presence,
you think man them are gonna triple team Tammy Abraham? No.
Not only his presence, fam. That's down to his all-round game.
Exactly.
Like, if you wanna have a striker that's not gonna get you 20, 30 goals,
better be doing something mad. Like,
game. You know what I'm saying? Because even Rooney was only the go-to guy number 9 for 1 or 2 seasons. But we know when it comes to all-round game, there's very few guys that come close to Wayne Rooney. So I hear what you're saying, Josh, about you don't need that guy. But Tammy's not a guy that has the all-round game to where he can slot in, pick out a pass, hold defenders off.
Not right now, though. Not right now, but you never.
I just don't see him becoming that guy.
Yeah, but you're saying not right now, but it's the question is to what end? How long are we going to give? Like,
I'm saying
we're trying to win the league.
No, but I hear that. That's what I'm saying. Like, present moment, fair enough. I'm saying, yeah, bro, don't bet against the guy that works hard, bro, because you never know what they can become.
Of course,
but from Lamp's perspective, though, what's the justification in his head? Like, Tammy Abraham by next season is not going to be a Premier League winning striker. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to be good enough to lean the line.
I hear what you're saying. We see Tammy like twice a week, bro. Max, fam. Lamp sees him like 6-7 days a week, bro. We don't know what he sees in him.
And that's.
No, but I'm saying the expectation is going to be to win the league next season, regardless. And I don't know if he sees Tammy as being his guy to lead the line for that team. If he does, then fair enough.
My argument is
there's no evidence that shows by next season Tammy's going to be
100%. My argument was only long term, innit? But 100%, bro. If you're streaming this season next season, bro, then I don't have a case here, innit? I don't have a case.
Not gonna lie,
when you spend 200 M's, we have to talk short term.
Exactly, and on top of that, the reason why I'm not even buying the excuse for, obviously I have the benefit of knowing you personally. Be honest with me right now, and be honest with the viewers. Are Man City winning the league with Jesus, your workaholic striker, as the main guy up front? Tell me now.
No.
Thank you very much. And that's the problem I'm having.
And Jesus is better than Tammy, by the way.
By far, as in, man, them are saying that, Rashford just got his 50th Premier League goal in I don't know how many games. Jesus is 7 goals away from that in like half the amount of games that Rashford played. So don't tell me that Jesus is someone who has an eye. Bro, the guy can score, but we can see that he misses so many chances that he can't be the lead man for a team to win the league. The same thing for Tammy. Look, I'm not disputing that Tammy everywhere he's gonna score goals. Bristol City, I think his only stint where he didn't score goals was probably Swansea. His first time in the Prem. Bro, I'm not trying to hate on the man and I want him to be successful, but I personally don't think he can be the main man. I think he could definitely be a second option, even third option, but he can.
In fact, it's less of an indictment on him, more so on Lamps.
100%.
Werner should be your number 1 striker. He had the 3rd most goals in Europe last season. He should be a
striker.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Put him through the middle. He should be your go-to guy. Then, if you want to bring something new to the table, maybe there's an opponent that you want to change up the game plan. It's Giroud. Giroud is the second option. Then I agree with you. Werner maybe can be versatile, but it's not every game that you bang him on the wing. If you want to bang Giroud up top, but still play Werner because you think he's a goal threat, then you can bang Werner on the left.
And I can tell you for free that Werner ain't happy in the wing, bro. Like, fam, let me tell you, as an attacker myself, bro, that's had to play out on a wing, bro. I'm telling you now, bro. Like, you're looking at a game, the Arsenal game, yeah.
Go on. I think he like that.
Yeah. But hey, the stat, yeah, Daniel. I don't know if you saw this stat, but Werner, he lost the ball more times than he completed passes.
Yeah, his pass completion was like 57%. That's for an attacker who get about what, like 20 passes a game on average. That's poor. That is beyond poor.
Horrible.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I've never heard of that in my life,
bro.
He lost the ball more times than he completed passes.
Bro, he's a poor passer, bro. Like, his passing ability is mad.
Deep where his one shot in the game came from, it came from when he was driving in the middle of the pitch. He wants to be in the middle of the pitch. It's not a coincidence that the 2 times he has played well this season where we thought, bro, remember when Werner had his debut against Brighton? He played up front in that game. Man, then we're saying this guy is going to be a serious problem in this league. When he played against Southampton, the goal he scored, the first goal against Southampton, and then the second goal, the first one where he dummies it, runs into the box, cuts in and shoots, and then the second goal where runs in behind the defense, lobs it over the keeper. Bro, this is what a striker wants to do. Strikers do what strikers do. Imagine, look, they're not direct comparisons, but they're very, very similar. All this Werner can't play against low blocks. It's BS. It's down to the manager and the system that they deploy. Because Jamie Vardy has survived in this league playing against low blocks and all this.
Not only survived, thrived.
Bro, thrived. He's a Premier League legend, fam. And no one can tell me that there aren't similarities between Werner and Jamie Vardy. Imagine playing Jamie Vardy on the wing. Do you think Jamie Vardy can dribble?
Impossible.
He can't dribble.
Jamie Vardy on the wing.
Come on, but obviously it's me, innit? I'm just a fan. What do I know? Because clearly this is my point, and this is where I'll leave it, innit? I just think Lampard, in my opinion, is disrespecting all of us as fans, telling us you're playing players based on merit. You have a certain system, and like you're basically telling us that these guys in training have performed to a level to which they need to start in this position for this game, when time after time, consistently, we've seen it. How many weeks have we seen Werner on the wing and be poor? How many games do you want to see that happen? Most managers, after the second game, he's no longer banging there. Do you get what I'm saying? But for us, we have to see Werner play consistent. Werner has not played up front since Southampton. I think the Southampton game was in September. That is a joke.
Second game of the season or so?
That's a joke. That's a joke. And he better be careful, innit? Like I said, I'm not Lampard out. A lot of people are already Lampard out, but like he's doing it to himself.
Wait,
and
so you're not Lampard out?
I'm not like, Lampard needs to get out, but I'm like, bro, you're doing it to yourself, innit? Like Roman's on the phone, innit? Like Roman will send, Roman is the type of guy, yeah. He won't even send long paras. He will just message Marina with question mark, and Marina will know what time it is. Do you get what I'm saying?
You say you ready? So you ready?
Hey, but last thing I'll say on Chelsea, yeah, he's got to get more from Kai Havertz, bro. Like, I know he's young, and that's what I'm saying. It's less of an indictment on Kai Havertz, because for me, I don't expect guys to come to the Premier League and rip it up straight away. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a tough adjustment. He's a young player. We don't expect that. But as far as Lamps, bro, he's supposed to be your crown jewel, most expensive guy that you bought in this window or, during the summer. You have to get more from him, bro. You have to. Now he's been relegated to getting cameos 10, 15 minutes. Like, that can't run.
No, he'll get back into the team. You have to remember that when he came back from COVID, Lampard tried to shoehorn him back into the team on the wing. On top of, like, not even in his best. And then, he's had to take him out because of poor performances. And COVID definitely has affected him. I think people aren't taking that into consideration. But like I said to you, I said it last week. I said, look, in today's day and age, people aren't just going to give you the time. That's why the fan base has to give you the time, innit? And the ones that are logical understand the situation. And I think Havertz will come good. I think Werner will come good. I actually don't think...
I'm saying it's up to Lamps, man, because as we were saying, the system is the key. Yeah, you guys doing this spamming crosses thing, I agree with it to an extent, but you need to get Mount and Havertz creating chances as well. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how you get goals.
Bro, based on creativity, there's not a lot of teams in the Prem that have the creative players that Chelsea's got, bro. Like, you're looking at Havertz, you're looking at Mount, you're looking at Ziyech, you're looking at Pulis. Like, you man have, you're looking at Kovacic.
What's crazy is,
bro, like, you man have an abundance of creative players. You don't even need to be spamming.
But yes, all they do is spam crosses, which is so weird.
We found ourselves in a situation, but this is not how we were playing before, and we found ourselves in a situation now that if Ziyech doesn't play, we were lost of ideas, and we have to rely on
Ziyech and Inshallah, man.
Fam, literally, and it's worrying. Before we move on to Arsenal, like, I think it's a nice transition. Look, personally, for me, for that game in isolation, I personally don't even think Arsenal played that well.
You didn't lose to a team that were better than you,
bro. First of all, let me give credit to Arsenal. Look, they played well. Arteta played the lineup, which he, like, really and truly, it was a low risk, high reward type situation. Banging in Emile Smith-Rowe, Martinelli after a while out, Lacazette up front, Aubameyang obviously on the bench. You got Xhaka coming straight back into the team after his ban. You got Holding and Pablo Mari. So it was a low risk team. Do you get what I'm saying? And if you lost, people would have understood kind of. It just would have been a thing where carrying on their bad run of form.
And bro, you got to look at the goal scored as well, bro. You had a penalty that I didn't think was a penalty at all.
Same.
You got
very good free kick.
You got the free kick. Fair enough. You leave the free kick here. That game ends 1-1, bro. That game ends 1-1. Yeah. You got Saka's cross that he claims is a goal that he claims he meant, but we all know he didn't mean it. So really and truly, bro, like the results.
Saka's on forward watch anyway, man. Donny picks England over Nigeria, man. Never forgive him.
But what I will say is, regardless of the goals and how they came about, Arsenal were a lot better than Chelsea, man. Chelsea were.
But remember,
they have no ideas.
Before you carry on, this is what my cousin was bantering me. Like, he even said it, and it's the truth, though. Arsenal won, like he was like to me, Chelsea lost to a team that were based on effort and industry. You know when they say, man, then work hard. Like, I'm seeing Emile Smith Rowe compilations. Donny was just playing 5-10 yard passes and running hard, like working hard. Like, I'm not trying to discredit the fact that these men might be good, but there's no way on earth that team that lined up against Chelsea is better than our team when both teams are at 100%. So for me, it doesn't make sense how you let that happen.
For me, it's an indictment on Lampard because firstly, how are you not getting your players motivated for a derby game? If all it takes, as you're saying, Daniel, is effort and energy. Because for me, the young dudes just provided that fire in their belly that the older guys at Arsenal didn't have.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? The young dudes came out with the urgency, and you man lacked that. Again, down to Lamps. How are you not getting your guys ready for a derby game? You've been in these games, been in these wars. How can you not get your guys motivated for such a game? Firstly. Secondly, considering how poor you've been recently, this should be a game where you're like, listen, we need to get 3 points. Arsenal are fighting for their lives. They're going to come at us. We need to be ready to go. And you man had no... And the thing is, I thought you man were going to come out in the second half. Because I was going to corner you, Daniel, from early. But then I thought, you know what? Let me not have to eat my words. Then I was like, the second half came about. I was like, nothing's even changed. You man don't even look that much better. It was only Arsenal that gave you a couple chances here and there. And it was like, okay, maybe you might get back in it. But tactically and as far as just the motivation regarding the players, Lamps, poor all around, man. But in terms of Arsenal, though, I do think Saka, Martinelli, that their man can be something that Arsenal can use going forward, because we've had questions about their wingers, Pepe, Willian, all of that. For me, Saka and Martinelli should be starting every week, man, and I think they've got.
I'm gonna sound like a mad hater. Yeah, all credit to Arsenal for the win. Do you know what I mean? That's a win that they very much needed, man. We looked at their schedule. I think it was in last week's episode, and we're like, yeah, they have to pick up some results somewhere, and they managed to do that against Chelsea. But even in this win, bro, it was very suspect, man. I mean, you got to look at it, bro. I personally said, if Jorginho scores that penalty, I think that game ends 3-3, man, really and truly, man. And in a game where...
But we didn't expect them to win, though. Yeah. We didn't expect them to win.
That's true, but in that situation, you're winning. Do you know what I'm saying? And in a game like that, where the other team is playing so poorly, you have to learn to dispatch opponents quickly, man. And I feel like Arsenal just gave Chelsea too many... Bro, Chelsea 10-15% better on the day, bro. I think that game ends 3-3, man. Do you know what I mean? You got to look at the penalty. You got to look at the chances after that as well, man. I think
3-3 is an embarrassment. That's a poor goal against that.
I hear you, but if you played that poorly and drew 3-3, that's a result, man.
No, it's not. God knows it's not. No, it's not. Don't tell me that.
The way you played.
Nah.
You're lucky to get a draw.
Nah. Shall I tell you why? Because at the end of the day, what do we say about people who are title contenders or challenging for the title?
And that's why. No, but fam, for the way you played to get a result there, you got to take it as a W, man. For the way you played, you didn't deserve a draw.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we didn't get that. This is a hypothetical, and we didn't get that. And for me, look, the incompetence showed largely in this game. He comes out in the press conference, says, players need to take accountability, and Hudson-Odoi, because of the energy he showed, will start against Villa. Why wasn't he starting time ago? Like, come on, man.
That's clutching.
Don't take the piss, man. And that's
back to Arsenal, innit? Back to Arsenal. Do you man think, like, is this going to be a turning point for them in terms of
Bro, it
going
will
with
be typical.
movement?
Watch them lose to Brighton.
Yeah,
And it's,
Hondo, man.
watch them lose to Brighton. Watch them lose to Brighton, fam. I'm being so honest to you.
No, the thing is, I think they'll lose to Brighton as well. But Brighton are a tough team to face, especially going to Brighton. Innit? I think after that,
you
can take strides.
They're a tough team for Arsenal. That's
they're relegated. Obviously,
they should have beat us. I think they should have beat you.
They play good football, but they're not clicking. They're not getting results. Basically, obviously they got a point today, but they're in the relegation scrap as well, man. Like, you can't, just because they play good football, that doesn't mean they'll be, like, look at Big Sam, fam. Look at what we're saying about West Brom are so worried about not staying up this year that they had to go call Big Sam, fam. They had to make that call to the Connect, fam. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's for Brighton, they can play the best football they want. If you go down, bro, coming back up, everyone knows it's a myth trying to come back up. Like, it's hard. It's hard work.
What you might think?
I think no, but I'm saying Arsenal are a side where you can't apply the notion of you got a good result one week, let's try and carry that on, because we know they're notoriously bad at carrying on a streak, man. And like we're saying, bro, we won't be surprised if they lose against Brighton because it's just typical Arsenal, man. Do you get what I'm saying? Hopefully for them, this can be a turning point in their season, man. They can really kick on from here, man. But if they don't get the result at Brighton, me personally, I wouldn't be surprised.
Can we even the question now is, can we even finish in the top four? Like, that's a serious question. Obviously, I know how volatile the league is, but like, inconsistency will cost you, and at any level, inconsistency will cost you. Like, what I was tweeting before you answer the question is, fam, Chelsea and the Chelsea fan base need to look within. We need to stop this idea of what other teams are doing. Let's look at Lamps and how good Lamps is. I saw a tweet that I was getting onto the guy here. He was saying that the disrespect towards Lampard, he was a great player. Look, Lampard the player and Lampard the coach are two different people.
Two different things.
They're two different people. And if you can't separate the two, then you are happy with the club going in a direction that could possibly leave us like 2 years behind.
There's no room for sentiment, fam. No room.
And just a final point, and I know we've waffled on about Chelsea, but final point. Stop comparing Chelsea's project or process or whatever to Klopp and Pep. Fam, Klopp had totally different circumstances, and even in those circumstances, and as an experienced coach, he got them 8th, then they went 4th twice, then they got 2nd, then they got 1st. That's what you call progress every year. If we do not finish 4th and above, or 4th with a trophy and 3rd and above, we have not made progress. That's facts. And where are we going to win the trophy? We got Atletico Madrid. You think we're going to beat them with the way they're playing?
Not with the way you're playing.
You're having a laugh. They're top of La Liga, comfortably. Literally. As well.
And they've conceded like 3 goals the whole season or something. Bro. But in terms of your chances for top 4, I think you're still in it with a chance. But it's going to be a tight race, man, because that's what I'm saying. You can't sleep on Leicester. Like, it's literally 6 teams that are going to be.
And you were laughing when I said Leicester,
huh?
You were laughing when I said Leicester.
Leicester won't finish in the top 4, man.
No, but they're in the race, bro. They're in the race.
Of course,
like, you can't. You get what I'm saying? Even if I was laughing, things change, bro. The season progresses, and things change, fam. Leicester, they dug out a result against us. Do you get what I mean? They're on a decent run,
and oh, sorry, go on, finish off.
I'm just saying, you can't sleep on teams like that, fam. We already know Liverpool are solidified top 4, and then it's between Spurs, United, City, Leicester, Chelsea. That's 5 teams, 3 spots. There's more than enough chance for you, man, to finish outside the top 4.
And fam, you can't even be laughing about this, like, oh, I told you so. Fam, we can't do I told you so till the end of the season, bro. The other day, you were saying, a couple weeks back, you were saying I told you so about what you were saying about Tottenham and how good they would be in the season. And coming into this weekend, they were sick, fam. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's fair, but I do think they're going to finish top 4.
Yeah, that's fair enough, innit? Like, I still think it might be tough. I'm still giving them the benefit of the doubt because of the Mourinho factor. But look, if Tottenham don't finish in the top 4, I won't be surprised. Tottenham always do Tottenham things, innit? And that's where we'll leave
history of the Tottenham.
But nah, in other news, I mean, there's something that was going around on the TL. I think it's a valid discussion to have, and it's about the Bruno Fernandes being the best player in the league debate. I mean, look, we're gonna give out presents at the end of the segment. I'm gonna open my present early, sneak peek, bro. He's been player of 2020 in the Premier League, like, easily, hands down. I don't have the stats in
Hands
terms
down.
of his goal contributions and whatnot. Fam, when he got put into the team of the year for BBC, I don't think he got Sky the official team of the year. Did he?
Yeah, the BB. No,
Yeah,
just
just the
BBC.
BBC one. Everyone was gunning. Like, I was thinking, what are these men mad? Like, what are they doing? Like, just because he stat padded end of the
They
season,
had the
can't be doing
foresight, fam.
But bro, this guy, for someone to be, look, first of all, I've always said availability is the best ability to have. This guy is never injured. Like, he's never injured, for one. Two, he plays almost every minute of every game. And when United are down, or maybe he's not, he's like, hey, we need you right now. Do you get what I'm saying? And then the goal contributions. He could well and truly have more goal contributions than appearances, but when this year is done. Do you know how mad that is? That's on some
The only people that I think we hear that from is Messi and Ronaldo. That's
bro.
it.
And in the top 10 Premier League goal scorers, he's the only midfielder in the top 10. That's another accolade in his corner. Look, is it time? And remember, a couple of weeks back, I was asking you, man, the question whether Harry Kane was the best in the league. Because I think KDB is still a world-class top player. But I do think the mantle is there. I do think it's there for someone to say, look, I want it now, you know? You've had your time. I mean, if he doesn't win the Premier League again for another season after playing consistently, it's a question on his name, innit? Like when guys were in the league, when Hazard was in the league, they were judged to the standard of the league titles that they win and their performances in the Champions League. So do we think Bruno Fernandes is that guy? Is he the number one man in the league? Darren?
No.
Oh, no.
Josh, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, bro. Everything you man said is spot on, man. And based on form, bro, he's the current best player in the league, man. But like I'm saying, bro, class is permanent, man. Fair enough, he's in great form, but I mean, in 6 weeks' time, we could be talking about another player who's the best player in the league, man. Do you get what I'm saying? I just feel like it's too premature, man. And I will give it to him right now.
He's done it for a whole calendar year now. He's done it for a calendar year now. That's not form.
Nah, man.
Not to interrupt, innit? Just to counter your point. These are the same questions I had of Bruno, and I was Team KDB. And it's not as though I think Bruno's a better player, but we're talking right now with it, bro. You can't question Bruno Fernandes. Like what he's doing right now is basically unheard of. Man's only been in the league for a year, and he's set the league alight. Like
what's your reason for KDB being the better player? Is it based on what he's done?
Everything, man. Based on what he's done, I don't think.
No,
of course, KDB isn't putting out the same output that he did last season and the years before that, and obviously you have to take it into consideration as well. But I don't think he's fallen off as a player to where someone else who's got more production is now coming in and he's suddenly the best player in the league. I don't think that's right. I don't think KDB's fallen off as a player.
Fallen off is the wrong word. I'm not saying he's fallen off as a player. He has definitely.
The only thing that's
the standards have gone down.
Is his level of production.
The team success, innit? The team success just ain't where it should be. United, bro. United have gone to another level since Bruno's arrived. Like since he's come to United, I think we'd be top of the league in terms of points, even above Liverpool. And that we were in the gutter before he got here. So that just shows the value that he has. The fact that he can take us from literally the fan base was in pieces, bro. Like it was a mess. We were so upset. Bruno arrives, bro. Now, bro, we kept on screaming, we can't score goals, we can't break down low block teams, bro. Now we're scoring 3, 4s, 5s, and 6s, and now we're saying it's our defense. And the only thing that's changed is Bruno Fernandes, fam. Like right now, you have to say he's the best player in the league.
And to throw another spanner in the works, I mean. Look, you're saying the only thing that's changed is team success. But isn't that another, point in Bruno's corner? Because Man United are the worst team when it comes to Man United and City. So if City aren't being successful and United are progressing as a team, aren't you going to give more weight to Bruno in that situation?
No, because it's not all said and done yet. It's not all said and done yet, man. Because just 4 weeks ago, my man here was carrying a bottle of Ray Nephews on an episode, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? So. I mean, I'm not one for the.
That was time ago, and it was Russian. That was time ago.
Yeah. Whatever, man. But yeah, see me, I just like stability in it. I'm not one for the volatility. And you're right. He has played well for a calendar year, man. But bro. By the end of the season, if the case still remains as it is now, bro, I'll happily give it to him, man. But I don't like the up and down thing, man. Let's have some steady level of
So if Bruno
of consistency, man.
if Bruno wins Player of the Season, is he the best player in the league?
Yeah.
And KDB is playing at this current level.
Yeah. So KDB maybe finish it. He gets nominated too, but Bruno wins it. Like I'm not saying KDB has, like, I don't like the word fallen. He hasn't fallen off, but his standards have definitely dropped. So if your standards have dropped, someone's there to like pick it back up. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm saying if Bruno wins Player of the Year, is he the best player in the league? Do you get what I'm saying?
And it's not just like Bruno's come in and he's doing like what guys have done, bro. He's doing things that haven't been done before. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if we're being honest, there's no one that could have even predicted this level of success. So like, you just have to give the man his flowers, fam. Like, he's doing some.
If he wins PFA, I'll give it to him, but I'm not shaking his hand though.
Man said I'm not shaking his hand. Look, Bruno deserves a lot of credit for what he's doing, man, and easily, like, look, I've been one to sing his praises. I'd take Bruno Fernandes every day of the week. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he's a player that you just need in your team, man. And
what he'll do at Chelsea, by the way,
wonders, bro. He's like the. Obviously, I don't think we need him, but he's like the missing piece in any team.
He's not the best version of Havertz, but what you want Havertz to be right now. That's what Bruno's on, fam.
So let's ask another question then.
And only we pay 50 M's for him, by the way.
Would you, Josh? Would you swap Bruno for KDB?
Don't even ask me. I'm not gonna answer that question.
Why?
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing
another
that.
question is.
I'd love to have him beside KDB, man. You know what I mean? You can fit him for Silva's boots. You can finally play the system that we want to play. But me personally, I don't think taking out KDB and bringing in Bruno Fernandes changes our fate drastically, in my opinion. I don't think we become title contenders by taking out KDB and putting in Bruno.
You know what? I asked Josh here. Do you think he could?
Because the problem is big. The problem is bigger than KDB. I think he can replicate it. Definitely in levels of production. Definitely, man. I think Bruno at his best can rival the numbers that KDB has shown to us throughout the season, man. But like I said, man, I think the problem is bigger than KDB. Isn't the problem for me in it, and I think he is the bright spark in our team, bro. So I think by taking him out and putting in Bruno, you're still going to get the same situation we have now, in my opinion.
You know where before you ask your question, Daniel, in it, bro, Ollie's one of the worst managers in the league, and Bruno is still doing an absolute mazzoline. Like,
but Ollie doesn't situate Bruno in a specific role though. Fam, I feel like in as much as we get onto Ollie for being tactically inept,
no, he does.
No, but in as much as we get onto Ollie for being tactically inept, Bruno still has the freedom to play his style of football, bro. That's the angle I'm coming from.
You have to give that to Ollie. Like, Ollie gives him that freedom. You can't say.
So then when I said he doesn't situate him in any position, why do you disagree?
Oh, I thought you were saying as in like Ollie's tactical ineptness has made it that Bruno isn't situated in a position that he doesn't. No. Yeah, I thought I didn't. Yeah, I thought you were saying. But Darren, the question I was going to ask you is: would you swap Bruno for KDB?
No way in hell right now. No way in hell right now. And the thing is, I'm a big KDB fan. I love KDB.
If you're honest, okay, now another question.
Crazy.
Hold on, Josh, hold on.
That is crazy to me. Still, that's crazy to me.
Hey, do me a favor, Darren.
That is crazy.
Darren, do me a favor. Whilst I ask Josh this question, check the stats for me on Bruno. Like, just get me something, and I'm sure you can get something quickly. I don't know if you can anyway.
Bro, I don't even need to get the stats, bro. He's got like 28 goal contributions in 30 Premier League games or something like that.
Josh,
Josh, if you ask let's do a bit of NBA stuff. If you ask every manager in the league who would they want to come into their team, who would it be, Bruno or KDB?
Right now,
based on right now, because he's in the best, he's in a better form than KDB. But if you're gonna ask a manager, if you're starting a team, you have to pick one midfielder between KDB and Bruno, you're picking KDB, bro.
Do you think so?
100%.
Do you think you're picking 100%. KDB as well, Darren?
100%. You're picking KDB. Let's not play game. Let's not fool ourselves here, bro. Let's not,
bro.
If you're
Wow.
managing and you need a bright spark, fair enough. You're going to take Bruno because right now he's in a better form. But
I think Bright Spark is underrating what he's doing.
No,
He's carrying us, bro. He's carrying us.
I don't think it is, man. Personally, man. But I'm telling you now, if you're starting a team from fresh, and you're left with these two midfielders, you can only pick one, KDB and Bruno. You're taking KDB, man. Let's not fool ourselves here, man.
You know why?
The man could do everything.
I think it's an interesting debate, innit? It's an interesting debate, innit? But you're not, Josh. What you're not understanding is the guy has done it for a year now. Like, would you say he's? Would you say?
Years.
No, but he's not been performing at the level that
I wouldn't say for
right now.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Do you think? Look, there's bad questions to ask, but is the best version of KDB better than the best version of Bruno?
Are you man crazy?
I'm not. I'm asking the questions. Don't throw me.
The man last year, in a poor City season got 20 and 20, bro. Come on, the only person you've seen do that, is Henry. Thierry Henry. Come on, man. Let's not do this.
You know, Bruno is very, very capable of 20 and 20.
That's
Bruno's getting 20 and 20 this season.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear capability. Let him do it. Let him do it.
Is Bruno getting 20-20 this season, yeah?
No, you know what? He might not get 20 assists, but he's giving you 35 plus goal involvements or even 40.
Okay, KDB got 40 with 20 and 20, but cool. You want to argue 35, KDB got 40, but cool.
Cool. Another question. If you take out KDB from that Man City team, where do you finish? And do you still get top 4?
Jesus Christ, absolutely not.
Hey, you won the league while he was injured, by the way, Josh. You won the league while he was injured.
We had a better team. We had a better team overall. We had a better team.
Yeah, but the fact that you won the league while he was injured.
But we had a better team.
I'm not comparing it. I'm not comparing it to what's going on right now.
Is bigger than one.
Roughly, where do you think you finished?
I'm not comparing it to the team that you have now. I'm just saying, at the time, obviously the team was better. But the fact that you won the league without him, that diminishes his value. Do you know what I'm saying? That just shows that.
No, it doesn't. I don't think you could put a but on that, bro. Because it's a big thing to have a better team than you do now, bro. You can't just say but.
I'm not comparing the two teams, though. I'm not comparing it. I'm comparing his value to that team.
And I don't think you can ask that question without putting context behind it. But you can't just isolate the question between they didn't have him, they didn't have him now. I don't think you could do that. I don't think that's fair.
That's fair enough. I understand that.
I'm not even comparing the two teams in it. I'm just saying the fact that you won the league without him back then. It's like obviously we know he's a great player, innit? But
Josh,
the team success is not as
because there was stand out as much.
Josh,
there's so many factors, man. Without KDB,
roughly where did you finish?
But as far as United, we
hold on. I'm coming to you. Roughly, where do you finish?
I think we're coming in at 6th.
You think you're coming 6th without KDB?
Yeah, I think we're coming in at 6th
season?
still. Yeah.
I mean,
if you lose KDB today, we're coming in at 6th.
I don't agree with that, but fair enough. Darren, where do United finish?
We have the creativity is lacking anyway.
Listen, we're Arsenal Football Club, right? We're Arsenal Football Club without Bruno Fernandes. We are Arsenal fighting for our lives right now.
We're Sheffield.
Not knowing where we're picking up 3 points. That's where we're at without Bruno Fernandes.
And finally,
going into every game saying, Lord, help us deliver a W.
And finally, if in you man's opinions, if you switch these man now, they switch clubs, do you think both teams are in the same position that they are? Where would United be if they had KDB, and where would City be if they had Bruno?
I think United can finish top 4 with. I think both teams can finish top 4 if you switch both players. I do think Bruno is that good.
But we're not in the position we are now if we have KDB. I don't think we are, because
I don't think you can.
That's what I'm saying. It's not questioning him as a player.
It's a hypothetical, Josh, isn't it? Yeah,
exactly. It's a hypothetical. I'm not questioning him as a player. I'm just saying what Bruno brings as far as goals and assists, bro. He's a match winner, bro, in every game that he plays. So it's like KDB ain't that. He's more of he conducts the orchestra. Do you know what I'm saying? But Bruno's just too nuts right now, man. Right now, One of the best players in the world right now.
KDB's the conductor, but Bruno's the star man, like the drummer, the main man.
Me?
Yeah.
But Bruno's the rock star. KDB's the manager.
No. Chill, man. Chill. Hey, let's not do that. Bruno's the guy that jumps off flipping stages in that, bro. KDB is the one that you just make sure everything goes smoothly, man.
KDB is just
So what you're saying? Basically, KDB's Rich Paul and Bruno's LeBron.
No, I'm not saying that. Bro, I'll come off this call right now, bro. I'll come off this call right now. What? I'm mad. Is man mad?
I'm playing.
I'll turn off my camera right now, bro. What?
Bro, I'm joking, man. I'm joking. Nah, that is funny.
What?
Look, in all honesty, though, like all banter aside, though, I think it's a discussion it's gonna be ongoing throughout the season because, like, Bruno, yeah. Do you know what's mad? Even when he's playing bad, he will get an assist or a goal. That's what it's like.
Guaranteed. And Daniel, not to backtrack in it, but you remember I was like, this guy can't keep this up.
Yeah,
I was saying it.
We said it. Yeah.
He can't keep up but he's doing it, bro. So it's like, bro.
I'm not forgetting what KD was doing at flipping Wolfsburg with a meaty team.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, look.
Hey, listen.
That's like 5-6 years ago, man. No one cares
Some
about
respect on his damn name, man. He's done it, bro. What Bruno's doing now, KDB's been there, done that, bro. Yeah? Bruno's in the early stages of what KDB was doing, bro.
Bruno is reviving
getting numbers in a
Bruno's
team, bro. KDB's done that.
To big clubs, bro.
KDB's done that. Let Bruno be the star man in a championship winning team, bro. Let him do that. He ain't done that. KDB's done that, bro. Yeah, put some respect on his name, man.
You think KDB was more important than Aguero?
I think so, yeah.
That's exactly why I brought up
because,
the
like you said,
the
orchestra.
That's exactly why I brought up the point that they won the league without him. That's exactly why I brought up the point that they won the league without. If you're winning the league while he's injured, bro, like that shows
that was one title. That was one title.
What do you mean that's one title?
I mean,
bro, he's won two. Yeah, one of them he was injured. The other one he was a crucial member in our team, bro. Like
he's definitely.
So don't talk as if he hasn't. Don't focus on that one title like he hasn't done it in another title. That's not fair.
No, he has, but I'm just saying the team accolade is lessened because they won it the following year without you, bro. Like, there's no way we can go from winning the league with Bruno to him being injured and. Oh, we'll drop out the top four if Bruno gets injured. Do you know what I'm saying? With KDB, you might want the league.
And circumstances are different, man. Back then, it's a 2-horse race, man. Now, it's not so much a 2-horse race, bro. The circumstances are different, man. But please put some respect on his name, man.
That's the question I wanted to come to, though. Do you think...
Stop smiling at that as well, bro. Hey, this guy's getting me mad. Bro.
Hey, Josh is upset.
He's rattled.
But bro, the thing is KDB is not performing at the level that we're used to, bro. That's the truth.
And neither is a single other member of Man City.
Yeah, but we're talking about KDB though.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that, bro,
he's supposed to be your best player.
He's our best player.
When Bruno came, our club
and let me make another thing clear, man.
Elevate everyone else.
When your team is so meaty, it's not hard for a good player to look good, bro.
Ooh,
but is it hard for him to elevate the whole team? That's my point.
Yeah. That's harsh.
Elevate the whole team.
Deep where they are in their position. They could go top if they win their game in hand.
Bro.
That's down to Bruno. You have to just...
When we were on our faces before he arrived.
Fam, Man United have one of the worst home records in the league and they could go top with their game in hand. That just shows...
Bruno's coming like LeBron, fam. He's pulling up to franchises and just resurrect. The Lakers were in the lottery every year.
Calm down.
And he's done it.
Calm down.
Bro, it's one, bro.
No. You, man, listen,
but no, you know what I will say? United are a team that we expect to be successful. And the fact that he's the guy that's come in and brought us back to a respectable place, bro, you have to put supreme respect on his name, man, because, like, what other player has done that? That's come to a big club and had this kind of impact. Name me a player in Premier League history that's had this kind of impact.
I feel like I can think of one.
Yeah, same, man.
Cantona is the only one that I've heard people bring up when he came to United and changed things up.
Kante.
Kante.
No, I'm saying Kante.
Kante. Yeah.
That's why I've been calling Kante the GOAT. So listen, I'm good with that. I've been calling Kante the
Kante.
GOAT.
And his effect is on literally the flip side of the pitch. Like he changed
Literally, bro.
the midfield and the defense. So, and for Chelsea as well, bro. Donny wins the Premier League like it's nothing for Leicester. Then goes Chelsea and literally wins us the title. Winning.
I could throw in another name as well, man. Suarez.
But
Yeah,
he didn't win the league. He didn't win the league.
Yeah, but United haven't won anything either. So what are you talking about?
And that's a fair point. That's a fair point. We're not like, bro. You think we're just throwing out arguments here, bro?
No. Right now, I got my armor on, man. I'm playing an intense D right now.
Hey, but you need to chat to your boy KDB though, because Bruno's telling him to come outside.
Hey, yesterday he missed a bad chance.
Man.
I don't know if you man saw it.
I think he was looking for a pass, and he left the decision too late.
Darren, you need to go see it if you haven't seen it, bro.
I don't think it was that bad. I'm not saying
that it's not a Werner bad, but it's a.
That's the thing I was about to mention as well.
It was a one-on-one, and
it's a KDB one-on-one that he needs to score in it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like he can't be looking for the pass.
I could look at every player in this Premier League, bro, and find the time where they've missed a one-on-one, bro. I could find Bruno's missed one-on-one. But let's not do that. Let's not do that. Yeah.
But in that same game, Bruno gave you a goal assist. That's what we know.
But no. In all seriousness, though, do you think? And this is the last discussion. Do you think we've seen the end of this idea of a 2-horse race for the title, or there's the set 4 teams who will finish in the top 4? Like, because now for the last 2 years now, we've had a volatile Premier League where numerous of guys, obviously top 4, yes, Liverpool were runaway guys, but do you think it's going to be so congested like this every season, or do you think?
Yeah, I think
parity.
I think the Prem in the way it's constructed is much different to a lot of other leagues, man. And the reason why I think that the end of the 2-horse kind of race is upon us is because you have to look at it like this, bro. Just simple finances, bro. That Prem teams are pulling up a lot more money now than they were back then, and the average Prem team is making much more than an average Liga team, bro. Do you know what I mean? So team have finances in the bank where they're able to buy the kind of players that they want, they're able to compete. You look at Wolves, you look at Leicester, you look at Everton. Do you know what I mean? They're able to kind of attract players now, man, which a lot of other teams around the world who aren't Bayern Munich or Real Madrid or Barcelona aren't able to do, man. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like the Prem, in terms of phases in the Prem, is never long lasting because things can change so quickly, man. The league was a 2-horse race or 2.5-horse race for decades, bro. It's only really now that things are starting to change. But the Bundesliga are still very much a 1-horse race. You know what I mean? Sometimes Dortmund can come in and have a good run or whatever, but the Prem is much different, man. Even if you look at the teams within that 2-horse race, that changes as well, bro. You look at before you were looking at the United and the Arsenals, then the Chelsea came to the mix now. Then you had the City and the Liverpool, and like things are always changing in the Prem. Even if it's not the dynamic, it's the teams within the Premier League. Do you get what I'm saying? And things are always changing, man. So yeah, man. I think in the next few years we could see back. You could see a time where we have about 3 or 4 teams competing for the title, man.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's going back. Everything's cyclical, isn't it? So it's going back to the days of multiple teams competing. You know, regardless of what we think about Chelsea this season, next season I think they'll be up there competing for the league. Abramovich is not going to stop until that is the case. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? United, I question our ambition, but listen, since Bruno has arrived, we've got I think tied with Liverpool the most points in the league. Do you know what I mean? So, bro, that's a statement right there. So, yeah, I think it's gone back to the days of the past, man, when you had a number of teams competing for the title. Because we know Liverpool are going to be there, Chelsea are emerging, I think United are emerging, and then you can't count out City. So, yeah, I think there's a number of clubs.
I think for the neutral, like it shows how competitive the league is, and just shows how like Brighton can beat you on any given day, Aston Villa can beat you on any given day. However, I do prefer my ideal Premier League title race would be Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, City. They're all winning their games. The games they're supposed to win, they're winning. But the real games is when they face each other. Exactly. And then we can really know and get a better idea of how good teams really are. For me, I don't think we can really get a perfect perception of how good a team is because of how volatile the season is. Like one day you go Pam, maybe just hypothetical, like this is not a real thing. You Pam Tottenham 4-0, but then you go Aston Villa away and you lose 4-1, and you're thinking, what the hell happened? You get what I'm saying? And it's like it does that just gives you blurred lines on how good you really are in it. But yeah, to close up though, in conclusion, obviously Christmas has happened. We're heading towards the new year, 2021, bigger and better things for EOTV and everyone here. But before we close it out for 2020, I think we've got to give out our presents. It's the 27th of December today.
Yeah.
So obviously when you man watch this, it'll be the 28th. We're giving out these late presents. So what I want from the man them is, do you know what? Let's go one by one. We'll go around. Say when I ask it to you, you say it, and then obviously we'll talk about it, innit? We'll just go around and say it. So who do you think deserves the present of the most underappreciated manager in the league? The most underappreciated manager in the league. I'll just read out some teams: Liverpool, Everton, Leicester, United, Tottenham. So just think about the managers of those teams: City, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Southampton, West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, Newcastle, Palace, Arsenal, Brighton, Burnley, Fulham, West Brom, Sheffield United. What do we think? Who's the most underappreciated?
There's a few, bro. Can't lie, man.
Only one guy can get your present.
I'm gonna say this just to spark a bit of debate because I don't obviously, like I said, there's a few, but I'm gonna go with Brendan Rodgers, man.
Hold on. Before you say why, Darren, who do you think?
I'm gonna go with Roy Hodgson, man. The OG. Yeah, man, the OG. I just love what he's done to Villa, man. He's solidified things. To
Palace, you mean? To Palace.
Sorry, Palace. Sorry. But yeah, man, I'll go with Roy Hodgson.
I will go with Big Carlo, man. Carlo Ancelotti. The reason why I say that is because, fam, actually, yeah. Now we've given everyone. Josh, you go true first, innit? Because you said it first.
I'm gonna say Brendan because after Leicester won their title, I know they've had a couple of managers since then, but we've all kind of been waiting on the decline. And I think Brendan's come in now and he's solidified Leicester as one of the top clubs in the Premier League, man. He's got them winning games. He's got them playing well. He's bringing out the best out of Jamie Vardy still. And I think, yeah, man, he's had a couple stints in the Premier League, obviously with Liverpool, and I feel like obviously he had a tough time there. He had some ups and downs, but I think now he's coming into the mold, man. You know what I'm saying? He's becoming a very respectable manager. He's one that by the time his managerial career is done, I think he'll have a very good CV to fall back on, man. And I think that while he's still here, a manager like that, we have to give him his flowers, man, because I think he's a very respectable manager, man. He knows what he's doing. Great guy. And yeah, bro, I think the Leicester job isn't an easy job because you still want them to be competing. You can't have them capitulate, and he's come in and he's done that, man. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Brendan.
He was even my pick, to be honest.
Yeah, when you mentioned CVs, that's exactly why I gave it to Roy Hodgson, fam. He's been all over the planet, had success wherever he goes. Now he's come back to Palace. They've got the profile to be like a yo-yo club, a club that comes down, comes back up. But he's established them as a Premier League club. Always a tough out. They might have got Pam 7-0 against Liverpool, but that's a rarity. Like you rarely see that from them. Selhurst, super tough place to go. Not a lot of money to mess around with. They're still being successful, finding young talent. Barry Eze, baller. Yeah, man. I just think, as you said, Josh, the OGs, man. You got to give the OGs their flowers, man.
Yeah, no, and even to add on Roy Hodgson, look, the reason why I love him the most is because he believes in the Mandem fam. To play Benteke, Zaha, Eze, Batshuayi, Ayew, you got all black men running your attack, fam. Like I love that, fam, about him.
Fam, for real. You even got Kouyate at centre back now.
Kouyate and Sako playing centre back. Do you know how mad that is? That is funny. But nah. But the reason why I say Carlo is because I just think, look, when we talk about the great managers, you always remember Mandem say Sir Alex, Pep, Mourinho, that trident. Fam, Ancelotti's CV is dumb. Like, it is crazy. The guys he's worked with. And the fact that he has the, I'll call it humility to go say, all right, cool, let me go take the Everton job and see what I can do with that. Obviously, first season wasn't maybe not the best season, but he had to see his team and work with the talent that he had. And look at them now. They're second in the league. And I know the league's volatile. They could be somewhere else, but you have to just give him credit based on the now, the here and the now. And I don't think he's getting enough credit for what he's doing with that team. Because I personally think that team, that squad isn't that great. I mean,
No.
I'm not the biggest Iwobi fan. Exactly. Look what he's done with Calvert. I don't think Calvert-Lewin under the previous managers was banging wing back. He was playing as a right wing back.
Literally.
Just put that into perspective. Playing as a right wing back, playing as a winger. I never thought I would see this from Calvert-Lewin, innit? And he just deserves big credit for that.
All I'm gonna throw in here is when I was speaking about Tammy Abraham a few seasons ago, we're looking at Calvert-Lewin as a striker who has a good physical profile, just works hard, but doesn't really do much, man. And look what he's become now, man. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but Calvert-Lewin has in my opinion, Calvert-Lewin had the base assets over Tammy. Like, Calvert-Lewin is one of the best headers of the ball in the league. I don't think Tammy's going to become that.
Hold-up play as well. His hold-up play.
And his hold-up play is levels. Like, I just don't see... Like, it was there. It was there for Calvert-Lewin. I don't see it. And if it happens, bro, I'll be... The thing about when it comes to Chelsea, I want to be wrong about the players that I have bad perceptions about. So it's not... I'll come back and say, bro, you were right, I was wrong kind of thing. Do you get what I'm saying? I just don't see it. So it is what it is, isn't it? Who do you think is the best youngster you've seen? So I don't really have an age cap on it, but it's your opinion.
Philip Foden.
You think so?
What they call him? Where's he from again, fam? One weird meaty place, fam. Is it Cheshire?
I don't even know.
They call him something. No. The Stockport Iniesta. That's what he is, man. The Stockport Iniesta, man. The boy can play. Oh, yeah, we're doing our justifications after, innit?
Yeah.
So,
justifications after.
Go ahead, yeah.
Darren, who do you think?
Young G.
Who's impressed you the most?
What are we talking about? What period of time we talking
calendar
about?
Year, 2020.
Oh, then listen, Mason Greenwood, man. I gotta go with Mason Greenwood. Hasn't set the world alight this season, but we know what his potential is, and his ceiling. It's a superstar.
I don't know what his potential is.
Yeah, then go watch his tapes. Go watch his tape. See what he's done.
All right, mate.
Based on the calendar year, who's impressed me the most? I think, you know what? I'm gonna go with Bukayo Saka, man. I'm gonna go with that guy, man, because he's really impressed me, innit? He's really impressed me. Go on, Josh, though.
Yeah, man. The Stockport Iniesta, man. This is the guy that...
I feel like you're about to make a joke. Make it quickly.
What?
This guy was holding in some joke.
No, it's cool. I was waiting to finish on that. I want to say, this is the hill you really want to die on, but it's cool anyway, isn't it?
It's not a hill okay, cool. I will give you my justification.
But yeah, man, I think... I can't remember exactly when it was, a couple of months ago when we were having this discussion about who the best young players in the league are. And my fellow cast members put Philip Foden last and put Mason Greenwood and Bukayo Saka ahead of him. But yeah, man, this is a guy that...
We won't talk about best young players in the league. Best season. That's what
Yeah.
I don't think you're doing that. I think we're talking about projection or something like that. You man put...
We'll find it.
But anyway.
No, there's no way we put Saka higher than Foden.
Exactly.
All right, cool. But anyway, man, in terms of the bunch, the crop, technically he's the most gifted by far, man. I don't think he's even close. This is a guy that Pep Guardiola doesn't really give much chances to young players, man. And even now, we're still screaming that he should be starting week in, week out, because he'll come in on a performance and he'll play so well, man. I feel like he very much encapsulates what the kind of football that Pep Guardiola wants to play. And we don't really see a lot of young English footballers with that kind of technical ability, man. Fair enough, he is challenged physically, but I don't think that's a problem, bro, because you can't really touch him, really and truly, man. So you see the likes of Jack Grealish as well, and I think them two together, man, technically, bro, they're just on a different level, man. And he's still so young, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And he has a lot more growth. But yeah, man, I think he's gonna be what Jack Wilshere should have been, in my opinion. That's gonna be my last point.
Let's leave it there. Quickly, Darren, you.
For me, Green was just a unique talent, man. The finishing ability, you don't see that of guys his age, or you might see it, but very rarely. The ability to use both feet, put chances away. the composure. I just think when you're talking about a potential leading man, a 25 goal, 30 goal season booking type of guy, I see that type of potential in him. And yeah, man, I just think you can't question the ability. The goal that I can't remember the team, but the touch and the finish. I think it was
West Ham.
Yeah, bro. You don't see those goals from a guy that age. The touch was deadly, and then the finish was even worse. Like he just does special stuff, man.
But yeah, no, quickly for me, Bukayo Saka. I mean, the question isn't really where I'm going with the question is who has impressed me in it. And the reason I'm not saying Saka and Greenwood haven't impressed me, but the reason why Saka has impressed me even more is because I personally didn't think he had the same kind of like he's going to have the same kind of trajectory that Greenwood and Phil Foden have. But based on the performances and the output, bro, he's been Arsenal's best player this season, and he was arguably in the top 3 of their best players last season with the output that he was producing. Like, look, he's been carrying that team. I know the team hasn't been playing well, but the fact that at 19 he has taken to being like kind of the main man and taken to the pressures of playing for Arsenal, especially with how the fan base is and how everyone is being judged. I think you need to give that guy a lot of credit, man. He's a young guy, 19 years of age, like. Bro. Donny should be in uni, fam, just chilling, living his life, and he's carrying Arsenal to an extent. So that's why he's impressed me, and it's a maturity, man. He's a likable guy, man. Even the way when he was talking, like normally him saying he scored that goal should have pissed me off, but like you just have to laugh. Like he's just a cool guy, like he's a mature guy. He's a character, isn't it? And you just like more like. What's the word? More credit to him, man. He deserves everything he's getting right now.
Another question in a minute. Just his versatility, man.
Yeah.
Like being able to play so many different positions. That just means that he'll do whatever it takes to win. Do you know what I mean? And that mentality from a young guy is
exactly. It's the mentality, man. I love his mentality for a young
guy. I know this guy ain't got a portfolio, Daniel, but I like Billy Gilmore, man. I like Billy Gilmore a lot.
He needs more game time, man. He needs more game time.
Defo still. But yeah, the performance that I've seen him put in, I like him a lot still.
Hey, no. We have to shout out the guys at the back for Leicester as well, for Fana.
And James. It's just because it's been half of the year, innit? Do you get what I'm saying?
What he's done so far.
Yeah, bro, big. Impressive. And the reason why I give James a lot more credit is because Ricardo Pereira was arguably top 2 right backs in the league based on the season that he had. And James took a while to get going, but now he slotted in. And Brendan, that's why you got to give credit to Brendan Rodgers, man. 100%.
Brendan, man, thanks, man.
Big Brendan. I think it's unanimous, our present for team of the year. Are we all going with Liverpool? If I'm wrong,
you have
let me know.
Yeah, man.
I think this is. I mean, as bad as the league has been, for there to still be a team that's been elite and that is basically dominant. Like, you know, when you go into games and you're like, fam, this team isn't even gonna get points off of Liverpool today. Like, it's like,
and that's like 80% of the league, by the way.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think you can't look past Liverpool and how Klopp has transformed this team to be one of the best teams in the world. It's crazy, man. Just got to give him a lot of credit. I don't know, does anyone have any?
Yeah, I just think you have to give Klopp a boatload of credit, man. Because of a point you made earlier, the fact that he can slide young G's in, the Curtis Joneses, the Reece Williams, sign a guy like Diogo Jota and have him causing havoc from the moment he pushes down. That just shows, fam, Klopp has created a well-oiled machine to where it's like he doesn't even need pieces to be all optimal. The thing is always going to be rolling, man, and that's how you know he's elite.
Yeah, man. Props to them, man.
This guy's a hater. And then finally, your player 2020. Josh,
2020.
The Premier League player of 2020.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Mane, man.
Okay.
Last year I came out and said I personally think he's the best winger in the world. And he's just a baller, man. Like, he's just incredible, bruv. The pace he plays at. And he's a guy that when he first broke into the Premier League, we didn't really look at him as a technical player, man. But I think that's a very underrated aspect of his game, bruv. He's got a great finishing ability. He's got a great touch, great pass. And yeah, bruv, I think he's one of the key reasons why Liverpool won the league last season, man. And he's a guy that even when he comes off the bench, bro, he comes on, he's instant impact, man. You know you're gonna get a goal from him. And yeah, man, it is tight. There's a couple other guys that could be in that same conversation.
Yeah,
like so Bruno, but for me, and he's won as well, and he's been consistent. I'm gonna give it to Mane, man.
Darren.
Yeah, I'm definitely not against the Mane shout. Probably the best player at Liverpool, and they've been super successful, so definitely not against that. But I gotta go with my guy Bruno, man. For talking about calendar year, something I mentioned earlier, I did not see him being able to keep up the pace that he started at, and the fact that he's done that for a whole calendar year is absolutely insane. I was just drawing up the stats while I was checking. 27 games, 16 goals, 12 assists. And that's not even taking into account what he did yesterday, by the way. So that's 28 games, 17 goals, 13 assists. That's more goals and assists than he has appearances in the Premier League. I don't know if there's a player that we can say the same thing about. So I've got to go with Bruno Fernandes.
And look, I mean, I understand the Mane shout on the Premier League winning team, but in terms of player, when I look at an individual player, and I think that's what I think the Ballon d'Or has. That's why it's lost it. It's not looking at players and their individual seasons that much. It's always just the person on the title winning team has to be the best player in the league. I don't think that. That's why KDB was the best player. Why do you think we were pushing so much for KDB to be the best player in the league over Jordan Henderson? That would have been outrage if Jordan Henderson was given PFA player, because KDB is the best. But it's Bruno, man. What scares me about Bruno Fernandes is that he is 26. He's arguably not even in his prime yet. That's what's so scary for me. And unless something catastrophic happens, he's going to be at Man United forever. Unfortunately, innit? So it's a thing where now he has contributed. I think Man United have scored 60 or thereabout goals since he's been at the club, and he's contributed to over half of those goals. Do you know what that means? That means that system is him.
It's him, bro.
It's all him. And without him, there's nothing else that happens. Look, this guy is doing his thing. 10 goals, 6 assists, I think it is. He's providing, he's scoring. His impact, United fans are calling for him to be captain. And the thing is, the one thing I would say is, Maguire was given the captaincy prematurely, but Bruno Fernandes is someone I think should be captain.
That's the point that I was just about to touch on, that the intangibles that he brings is so valuable, because I don't know, and there's no one at the club that provides the leadership that he does. The only reason why Maguire is captain is because he got here before Bruno did. Yeah, I'm saying we lack leadership. Obviously Bruno came in Jan, Maguire was already the captain. Bro, Tellez literally came out with quotes today saying, his relationship with the players is major. He's a leader for us. Just giving Bruno all the bells. And even you see it in his post-match interviews as well. He's always talking about we've done well, but we want to achieve better. We want to go further forward. You don't hear that from Maguire. You don't hear that from anyone else at the club. So listen, he's the one that's bringing back the ambition of the club as well. Yeah. So that's another penny in his cup as well, man.
Yeah, man. But KDB's good too, man. He's a good player as well.
Yeah, he's all right.
But
I will pull
that's the end.
Now, bro.
Eyes on the ball, bro. This episode has been a great episode. I'm glad you've been on the journey with us this year. We got a lot more coming for you. 2021 is going to be a consistent year. Obviously, 2020 is when we started making it more consistent. But 2021, we got a load of things coming your way. Special surprises. Hopefully, first episode of the new year, you're going to see a new look EOTB. Hopefully, I'm just going to keep it under wraps for now. But there's so much coming up or your way. Make sure you follow us at Eyes on the Ball TV on all our platforms. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on this video. Tell us what you think. Join in on the debates that we've had in this episode. Is there anything I'm missing out? Hit the bell. Don't miss a video. We've got other shows, other content that we're producing on the channel as well. Yes. Fam, there's just so much going on you do not want to miss. Don't lack. Because
from your favorite boys,
don't jump on the train late.
From your favorite boys, Josh, Daniel, and Darren.
Hey, Josh, that's disrespectful.
I couldn't have said it any better myself, man.
Thanks, man.
I couldn't have said it any better. We out, man. We out.
Appreciate it.